The sleepy Sandman's vacation. It's nighttime in the woods, and high above all of the trees, there is a little scroll pinned to the face of the smiling crescent moon. It reads, "Gone on vacation, Sandman." Down below in the forest, there is a cozy clearing filled with soft light and strange glowing mushrooms. In the center of it all is a large tree stump with a stack of books on top, and nestled around the stump are some of the sleepiest woodland creatures imaginable. There is a wise old owl wearing glasses, a big brown bear in pink pajamas, a cute bunny rabbit holding a big pillow, and a sly red fox with a glowing lantern. And between them sits a big, open book titled Bedtime Magic. All around them, sparkling dust fills the air. Now, the reason that this particular forest clearing was filled with so much magic tonight is because these animals were trying to put on a very special show. You see, since the Sandman was on vacation, no one was sprinkling dreams around the world. And while he was gone, all of the animals felt it was up to them to take over his job. So they decided to do their very best to sprinkle magic into the air and send children around the world off to bed with happy dreams. But so far, things weren't going all that well. The little fox tried waving his glowing lantern back and forth, but the only thing that happened was that his tail started to glow a faint red. The big brown bear tried sneezing into the air, thinking that maybe if he had a really big sneeze, it would send sparkling dust flying everywhere. But all he managed to do was spray a fine mist from his mouth. The wise old owl thought maybe if he opened his book to the right page, magic would just fall out of it. But after searching through every single spell and incantation, he could find nothing that helped. Even the bunny rabbit, who was normally full of energy, was starting to feel sleepy, and she leaned her head against her pillow, which unfortunately knocked over an entire stack of books. But just when everything seemed to be going wrong, the wise old owl noticed something. In his excitement, he had forgotten to put his glasses on, and without his trusty specs, he couldn't read any of the spells. He took a deep breath and asked if anyone had seen his glasses anywhere. The brown bear rum, family rum, family rum, family rum, family rum, family rum, family rum. The little fox perked up. His tail stopped glowing and he said, "I think I saw something fall out of your sleeve when you waved your arms earlier. Let me go look." With that, the fox ran over to where the glasses had fallen. And sure enough, tucked underneath a mushroom, he found a small pair of round spectacles. He picked them up and ran back to the owl. "Here you go," said the fox, handing the glasses back to the owl. "You were right. I did drop them earlier. Thank you, little fox. That's very good of you to help." The owl then put his glasses back on and opened the book to a random page. "Well, we don't have time to look through this entire book, so let's just pick one," he said. As he flipped through the pages, he landed on one that was marked with a flower and surrounded by tiny stars. This looks like just what we need," the owl said aloud. "A pinch of dandelion fluff, a whisper of evening breeze, a spoonful of starlight, a handful of mist, a dollop of moonlight, and a dash of sleepy trees. When sprinkled together, the magic will last until morning light." Each animal gathered what they needed for the spell. The bear collected some fluff from a nearby dandelion. The fox blew on the evening breeze. The bunny poured a bit of starlight from her pillow, and the owl added a spoonful of shimmering mist. The only thing they needed now was some moonlight, and though they looked all around the clearing, they couldn't find a single drop. The owl suggested, "Well, if we can't find any moonlight, then we should probably just call the whole thing off. Without the Sandman here to help us, I doubt our little magic show will work anyway." Everyone started to leave, feeling sad that they wouldn't be able to help the children of the world get their dreams. But then the little fox stopped. He turned back to the stump and said, "Actually, I think I can help." Confused, the other animals stared at the fox. "What do you mean?" asked the owl. "Well," the fox explained, "earlier when I was looking for the owl's glasses, I saw something. I saw that my den, the den where I live, was glowing. And I think I know why. The fox walked over to his den, which was nestled between two large rocks, and he pushed aside some leaves to reveal a small hole. Inside there was a faint but steady glow. "I think I left my lantern on inside," he said. "And since my den is made entirely out of moonstones, the glow from the lantern must have filled it with moonlight." The other animals gasped. That was perfect. If the lantern was glowing with moonlight, then perhaps they could use the moonstone rocks to amplify it even more. So, working together, the animals rolled the biggest rocks they could find in front of the den. The bunny rabbit hopped inside and turned the lantern on really bright. Then, peeking out from between the rocks, she saw that the glow was growing stronger and stronger. The bear used his big paws to help push the rocks into place, and soon they formed a sort of dome around the clearing. The owl, with his magic spoon, stirred everything together and sprinkled the dust around and around. Finally, the little fox took a feather from his lantern and swished it through the air to make everything sparkle. After just a few moments, the clearing was filled with so much magic that the animals could barely see each other through all of the sparkling dust. Suddenly, the moon in the sky peeked down at them and smiled. She whispered, "Thank you for helping out. I knew I could count on you." And with that, she disappeared. Soon the clearing grew dark again, and the animals watched as the stars twinkled on one by one until the sky was filled with their silvery light. Then one by one, the animals started to leave. The bear went back to his cave, the fox to his den, and the owl to his tree. But the bunny rabbit stayed behind a moment longer. She looked down at the glowing book, and a gentle smile spread across her face. Putting the book away, she started home too. As she skipped through the trees, she looked up at the night sky and whispered, "Good night, sleepy Sandman. We're watching over your job for you." Back in the city, children snuggled into their beds and dreamed of magical places. They dreamed of sparkling clearings, silly animals, and glowing mushrooms. And somewhere in the sky, the real Sandman smiled as he sprinkled happy dreams around the world. The end.